my son is going on a hike or my husband has a official trip, I don't want my viral to pass over to them.
Yes.
So we have preventive medicines which doesn't let the symptom develop and it acts like a barrier.
Okay.
So it
Is it safe to take?
Absolutely. Homeopathy is the only system of medicine which does not have any side effect. There is a child who is sick in a classroom. The parents will say,
Yes.
my child should not fall sick. So
I
give me
know.
something to build up the immunity. So
Yeah.
basically these are fantastic immunoboosters which can help you not only to develop your immunity but to also prevent any kind of contagious diseases.
Hello, everyone. I welcome you all to Imperia Connects, the podcast focused on family well being. Today, we are going to discuss an overview of what homeopathy is, its principles, history, and what are the common myths and misconceptions surrounding it. For that, let's welcome our guest, Dr. Meghna Rawal Thali, who is a renowned homeopathy practitioner from Mumbai with 20 years of experience and a university topper. Hello, Dr. Meghna. Thank you for coming to our podcast.
Thank you, Shilpi, for inviting me for such a wonderful topic called homeopathy, an integral part of my last 20 years. I want to extend a big thank you to Imperia Connect to give homeopathy a platform and to choose me to talk about homeopathy.
It's our pleasure, Dr. Meghna. Today I'm going to ask you few questions on homeopathy.
Sure.
My first question is very basic. What is homeopathy all about and who pioneered it?
So, homeopathy has been developed in Germany some 200 years ago, and it is based on two theories. Number one theory is the theory of law of similia, that is similia similibus curantur. For example, in a healthy person, if you give a medicine that produces disease symptoms, that same medicine can be used in diseased person to cure that person.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And the second law is the law of minimum. The minimum the dose, the more the effective. Also, homeopathy comes from three different factors, which is plant, animal, and mineral. And the medication is made under the International Pharmacopoeia. So, all precise, Dr. Samuel Christian Frederick Henneman in 1796
Okay.
developed homeopathy as a beautiful system of medicine to touch lives.
So, Dr. Meghna, it aims to treat the root cause and it operates on the principle of like cures like.
Totally agreed.
So, Dr. Meghna, what one can expect when he or she goes for his first consultation, or in a different way, if anybody comes to you, what information he should provide as a patient or caregiver in that case?
Shilpi, see, the whole thing is, you know what, homeopathy is based on the principle of equilibrium in the vital force.
Okay.
Now, what is this vital force? This vital force is the one which governs the trinity of life, the mind, body, and soul.
Okay.
When there is a disequilibrium in the mind, body, and soul, we go into a state of dis-ease, disease. Now, what happens as a homeopath? Usually, a homeopath is always considered as a last resort.
Okay.
A patient will go to the conventional system of medicine, may not get all right. So many times I get patients who have done multiple of investigations. Everything is normal, but the symptoms are there. So coming back to the vital force and the patient still suffering from the symptoms, even though he has done investigation, has gone on a certain system of medicine, but still not making all right of himself. What we need to do is, as a homeopath, I need to find out where exactly is the disequilibrium in the vital force, that is the mind, body, and soul. Since he is coming to me or she is coming to me after going to so many other system of medicine, should be very clear in giving her drug picture. Once the drug picture comes to me, I come to a conclusion of a right drug, because homeopathy is the only system of medicine that believes in individualization of patient. There is no generalization. You are Shilpi, so I will be treating you as Shilpi with your mind, body, and soul. The gentleman who is capturing me, I will capture him as his mind, body, and soul. The one who is recording me, if he comes to me, then mind, body, and soul. Such a individualized system of medicine. So, as a doctor, I have to be a keen observer. I have to take the symptoms accurately. The patient has to give the symptoms accurately. That's how homeopathic consultation works.
So you mean it differs from person to person?
Absolutely.
As per their constitution.
Absolutely. No two people are alike. No two constitutional are same.
Exactly.
Everybody has their unique identity.
Yeah.
So this is the only system of medicine which believes in individualization.
Wow, lovely principles, I must say, Dr. Homeopath.
Yes,
Like,
I also feel so at times.
what should one expect while taking the medicines? What are the do's and don'ts? And also, I have heard that people keep on saying that if you're taking homeopathy medicines, then you can't eat onion, garlic, and also taking medicines multiple times, it gets difficult. What do you want to say on this?
Sure. So homeopathy actually believes in the science of posology, which is science of dosage. Now, for example, if a person comes to me in an acute condition, I have to give medicines which needs to be taken frequently. For example, diarrhea, migraine, or if there is a cold or cough. But if a person is coming with a long-standing chronic disease, then the dosages are very limited. They might be just once a day, or they might be 2 to 3 times a day, depending upon the condition of the patient. Also, the do's and don'ts come into the picture because these are very dynamic medication. The efficacy of these medicines get lost if there is a very strong odor, very bright sunlight. For example, if a person is taking alcohol and taking homeopathic medicine, how it's going to help him? Also, if you're using a lot of perfume in your bag and you're keeping your medicine in the same place, then the efficacy of medicine is bound to get
Diluted.
lost.
Yes.
So that are just a simple do's and don'ts. Of course, if you come and take my medicine, my envelope writes that these things can be taken into moderation. You don't have to do overdo in any system of medicine. Similar it is for homeopathy. So
Okay.
there it is.
So, Dr. Meghna, some people think that homeopathy cannot work or does not work. Can you provide your views on this?
So Shilpi, we stay in a very fast-paced life. Here, gurus, life coaches and healers are made overnight with minimum exposure. People, if they don't get all right in a single day, they feel that certain system of medicine is not working
So
on
patience
them.
is not there, you meant.
Patience is not there. We want quick fixes.
Exactly.
So, me being a homeopath, usually considered as a last resort, people come to me where they have gone to other system of medicines and now they feel let's try. So in that try, when they get all right, the conviction comes into the picture, and then they want to also introduce their healthy family members to me.
Okay.
So that family members, when they come to me, they start taking medicines and they realize, oh, for a common cold, I'm getting all right in 2 to 3 days of just pure homeopathic medicines, or my fever is coming into control. By the way, people who are on my medication, they don't take any other medicines for fever. They let the fever happen for 2 days, how in olden days it used to happen, where fever used to be taken
Subsided.
into
Yeah.
consideration by regular set of natural medicines, and it was subsided. Similar in homeopathy, people come for fever medicines or loose motions. They have the conviction that, yeah, with this 2 to 3 days of medicine, I will get all right naturally.
And it will not relapse.
It will not relapse
Yeah.
or suppressed.
Exactly. Because now people have that feeling of suppression, that things get suppressed and then later on it again comes back.
So that is the exact same thing that happened during COVID.
Yeah.
Patients who were there on my medication for immunity, like I said, if a diseased person is coming and wants a healthy person to take medicine just to keep the immunity intact, we're taking my medication for keeping the immunity intact, a supplement for vitamin D or calcium or magnesium, and was being taken care with homeopathy. Those who were there on homeopathy, they got very mild to moderate symptoms of COVID.
Okay.
Most of them didn't get COVID at all also.
Oh, wow.
Because homeopathy was acting like a prophylaxis at that time. So that's how I would say that do's of homeopathy are so much that people need to embrace it for day-to-day life, just like a good vitamin supplement,
For holistic living, you meant.
for holistic approach and living.
Exactly. So, Dr. Meghna, you meant that it acts as a preventive medicines also.
Yeah, so you know what? If somebody is having a viral in the house, they would come and tell me that my son is going on a hike or my husband has a official trip. I don't want my viral to pass over to them.
Yes.
So we have preventive medicines which doesn't let the symptom develop and it acts like a barrier.
Okay.
So it
Is it safe to take?
absolutely homeopathy is the only system of medicine which does not have any side effect.
Okay.
That is the best part of it. So
Exactly.
prophylaxis is there. Also, for example, if there is a child who is sick in a classroom, the parents will say,
Yes.
my child should not fall sick, so
I
give me
know.
something to build up the immunity. So
Yeah.
basically these are fantastic immunoboosters which can help you not only to develop your immunity but to also prevent any kind of contagious diseases.
It's really wonderful. I think in the classroom, all the mothers have that feeling that if my son goes in this rainy season is going to come down the line.
Absolutely.
They have that fear that if it happens, then my child will fall sick. So I think homeopathy can be a good resort in that case.
So on a lighter note, April and May, my patients usually
Increases.
tell me, Doc, we are going for a good vacation. Once we come back, we are going to take your medicines because you know how it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so it's not like that I tell them to keep on taking the medicines.
Exactly.
I said, okay, fine. Once the child is back, going back to the school, develop that
That
immunity so
immunity.
that he can fight off with
Safe.
whatever virus or
Yeah.
pathogen is there.
Exactly. So do you also provide some sets of medicines while people travel abroad
Yes,
or in India?
yes. There is a provision of something called kit where we give a kit that comprises of fever, cold cough, loose motion
Okay.
and injury.
Right.
So in case if you're traveling or if you are alone at home, with your child at
Yes.
night, if the child has a propensity or tendency to fall sick, then you don't have to call me up. You have something which
Yeah.
can act as a preventive.
SOS. Yes.
But that is also depending upon the constitution of the
Yes,
patient.
yes.
It differs patient to patient. So I can't give belladonna to you if you have fever. There might be bryonia for you if you have a fever. Or you may have epitorium perfilitum if you have a fever. So that kit is not same for everyone.
Okay, it differs from person to person.
It
as you
differs from
said.
person to person.
Do scientists believe in homeopathy?
Do scientists believe in God? Did Einstein believe in quantum science? I think quantum physics to be known took several years, the dynamic of quantum physics. Similarly, it's with homeopathy because it's such an individualized system of medicine that there are a lot of individual based trials and there is very seldom statistical evidence, but there are a lot of organization, there are a lot of website. You can go to my website, you can go on my Instagram handle, you'll see I've put treated cases over there. So it is like an individual based trial where we have put in the cases of several diseases treated by individualistic medicine. So I would not comment on what scientists believe. I would believe in what my patients believe in.
So the credibility has been proved actually. That is what
I think
you meant.
eventually the credibility has to be proved by the patient
That
who
is
is
what
coming
I'm
to
saying.
me.
Yes, yes.
You may talk about something which is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't help you, then it
Absolutely.
doesn't stand any chance after you
Exactly.
pay so much of money.
Yeah.
But if you believe in something which is not a very credible or not a very like you call quackery. Some people call homeopathy quackery. But if
Yeah.
it is helping somebody to come out of a very chronic problem
Without side effect.
without side effect, then
I
I
know.
think the
It's a blessing, I must say.
validity as well as the credential has to be given.
Yes.
So there rests my answer.
What is the role of Ayush in homeopathy?
So that H in Ayush is basically homeopathy. Imagine our own country's organization which is providing information about homeopathy, letting happen clinical trials of homeopathy and also giving basis of homeopathy as far as education is concerned and exposure of homeopathy is concerned to various medical organization. So I would really like to thank our government for providing homeopathy such a wonderful platform.
So it's promoting homeopathy and regulating it also.
Yes, and allowing it in organization, medical organization, hospitals as a part of alternative or complementary
Treatment.
medicine.
Oh, wow. So, Dr. Meghna, if I want to become a homeopathy practitioner, how many years of formal training do I need to take?
So the homeopathic curriculum is known as BHMS, which is Bachelor of Homeopathic Medicine and Surgery.
Okay.
It is a 5.5 years course.
5.5 years.
Yeah. which includes 1 year of compulsory internship where you go after your course is done and you practice and learn under doctors in a reputed hospital. The curriculum is almost same, where we get to learn anatomy, physiology, internal medicine, gynecology, surgery, along with homeopathic pharmacology and homeopathic principles.
Oh, so 5.5 years of rigorous training you go through.
5.5 years of rigorous training along with internship, and then a homeopath can go to a revered homeopath or a good physician and get themselves more
Acquaint to the
educated.
body and
Yes.
all. Are homeopathy medicines suitable for all age group?
It has to be, because it works on the principle of vital force. Surprisingly, or full of gratitude, that those who have started as young teenagers, become parents,
Oh.
have decided to even take homeopathy before they want to conceive
Okay.
the child.
So that really helps?
Absolutely, that is their individual decision, because they know that homeopathy works on the principle of vital force.
Yes.
So the couple will come and they will say that we want to take homeopathy so that we are in equilibrium as far as our mind, body and soul is concerned.
Oh.
So I start giving medicine to them when they are about to conceive. When the female conceives, she would like to take homeopathy for her different stages of pregnancy.
Okay.
Eventually, I have treated people who wanted a smooth delivery, and we have medicines which have let the baby come full term normal child with no incision in just 15 to 20 minutes
Oh
with
my
homeopathic
God, I
consumption.
can't believe this. That is really an eye opener for me, I must say. I think that needs a lots of faith and
Conviction.
courage to go
Conviction.
through, actually.
Conviction, because they might have seen, see, homeopathy is also very word by mouth.
Yeah.
Like, okay, doctor has given me this medicine, I delivered in say
Yes.
max 15 minutes to half an hour.
Oh my
Why
God.
don't you try?
Yes, yes.
So those people have tried, and I have treated children who have got high level of jaundice, babies.
Okay.
I'm talking about
So
small
newborn baby?
newborns, yeah. And the mother has have that much of conviction. No, I want to give your medicines. I know it will do good to my child, and we have got the child out of a bad jaundice.
So how do you give? Because the newborn can't even eat your pills or something like that.
So we can either give in the formula milk, which has been given to them in the neonatal ICU
Okay.
after taking
Yes.
the concerned doctor's
Permission.
consent, yeah. Or the mother can mix the medicine in her breast milk and give the child as a dosage.
Okay.
I have one very nice
Incidents.
incidents to share. I had a case of Korsakoff syndrome, where the doctor said that the baby girl has a heart issue.
Oh.
And she had to go through multiple echocardiography to rule out whether there was a heart condition. And the grandparents were not that keen to give medicine to the newborn
Exactly.
baby.
That's what-
So was the doctor.
Yeah.
And the mother was so hell-bent, because she had taken medicines throughout the pregnancy and was so hopeful that I would take care of the baby. So I said, you know what, let's do one thing. Since you are feeding her, why can't I give you a minimum
Medicine.
dose?
Oh.
And the mother fed the baby after taking the medicine, and by the time the child
Out of the.
out of the hospital, out of the NICU, out of the hospital, she was disease free.
It's a blessing.
I think it's grace.
Yeah. And for that parent to go through all this must be a nightmare.
I think that is what trust is all about.
Yes.
And homeopathy is all about trust. Shraddha
Sure.
and saburi, I can say.
I agree with you on that point. Doctor, as you mentioned that all people can take your medicine irrespective of age. So what do you think about pets? Do you also treat them?
So pet also have principle of the vital force.
Okay.
They are also organism which thrives on the trinity of life. So homeopathy is very easily given to pets. I have pets who have come with parvovirus, distemper, and not only dogs or cats but also birds,
Okay.
turtles. They all can take homeopathy.
So I believe my audience will be very happy to know about this aspect that homeopathy can treat their pets also.
We run a free pet clinic on Thursday, and we dispense medicines to any kind of living organism who is under distress, dis-ease.
So kind of you, Dr. Meghna, that you treat them free on Thursdays.
It's all God's grace, and this is the least a human being can do for animals.
Why do all the pills look the same in homeopathy, like sweet, round, sugary?
So, as I told you in the previous question that you asked me, that homeopathy is derived from plant, mineral, as well as animals. Okay, so these pills are just base,
Okay.
which are either made up of lactose or sucrose.
Okay.
The sugar is so minimal that even a diabetes patient can use it.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that homeopathy is those sugar pills. Homeopathy is more than 2 lakh medications in form of dilutions.
2 lakhs.
Yes. And they can be given in form of liquid, they can be given in form of gel, they can be given in form of spray also. There are most of the time I tell that if the infant, you don't want to give the infant internal medicine, you can just take the medicine and spray, like how people take nebulization.
Okay.
And in most of the cases it has helped people. So homeopathy can be given by various methods. It's just not the sugar pills. People who are just happy to take dilutions can take dilutions.
Okay, so it's very dynamic. Like with the spray, I've never heard of that though. I have always seen those round pills. So I thought to ask you this question because spray is something. So don't you think, doctor, that it gets diluted when it come in contact with other air or something like that?
So Shilpi, see, the most common example that I can give you is that you are in your car and you go from a construction site, just a spur of dust can cause you an allergy. Similar, why can't these medicines give you
Can work.
benefit?
Yeah.
Okay, where we are taking or inhaling them for a good amount of time. So it depends person to person, but I have got very good review about people who have taken homeopathy as sprays.
Okay. Does it happen that sometimes after taking the medicine, problem gets aggravated initially?
Yes, it should, because it is the body's way of stimulating the symptom before the medicine restores the health.
Okay.
This is a very fact that homeopathy is not placebo. Okay, or it is not quackery. Because if it can cause aggravation, that means something is going inside medically.
Yes.
Or some medicine is getting stimulated. So aggravation is just for the time being. According to the principle of homeopathy, aggravation should bring in amelioration. That means it increases the symptom, restores it, and then it brings in the cure. Because this is the system of medicine which believes in cure and not treatment.
Yes. So you mean that it gives you a mild effect and then it's short-lived and then it goes away?
It gives you a mild aggravation and then it gives you a long lasting effect.
Can homeopathy medicines regulate metabolic disorder?
See, if a patient comes initially with a metabolic disease, there are fair chances that the patient can just be taken into control with homeopathic medicines.
Okay.
But if the patient has gone for any other system of medicine for a prolonged time and taking homeopathy, I usually don't stop that medicine. I tend to taper it as I put in homeopathic medicine.
Yes.
So there are several metabolic diseases that have been treated with homeopathy. You can go on my website, you can go on my Insta handle and see over there, because there we are not treating the symptom, but we are stimulating the organ which is failing to act. That's why homeopathy is a fantastic system of medicine for treating any metabolic disease, as we are not targeting the symptoms.
Okay.
We are targeting the organ which is not working.
So if you're targeting a particular organ, in that case, if you take the medicine for a long time, so does it affect other parts of the organ?
Now that is a myth, because homeopathy believes in the science of equilibrium between the mind, body and soul.
Exactly.
So if it is treating a certain organ, it will also treat any other organ which has not come into the picture but is going under deterioration.
Okay.
So that's how homeopathy works on a whole. And you know what we have started doing, since people are so investigation pro,
Exactly.
we make a point for our individual clinical trials that before the patient start with our treatment, we ask them to go and do an investigation.
Okay.
And after 2 or 4 months of medicine, we again ask them to do an investigation to see if
What is the improvement?
what is the improvement. If they are coming for a acute renal failure, then the creatinine level, the bun level. If the person is coming with a heart condition, then the lipid profile. If the patient is coming with gallstone, which is cholelithiasis, we will ask him to go after 2 or 4 months to check what is the size of the stone. Similar with kidney stones.
Okay.
So this is the way we tend to treat in our clinical practice, or I try to treat people in my clinical practice with investigation in hand, so that even the patient knows
Yeah, it
that
justifies.
he or she is on the right path. people like to see miracles happening in their lives. So this is how that investigation talks about it.
Yeah, I agree to that. And I think that faith remains.
Yeah, faith is a very important part because then it builds up the healing on the soul level also. The
yeah,
trust is
that
very
trust,
important.
Yes. Do homeopathy also have over the counter medicines, and is it safe to take without consulting a doctor?
Over the counter, yes. Without consulting the doctor, no. Because first part of the question I will answer, yes, there are several pharmacies. So over the counter medicines can be available in India, out of India also. There are fantastic international pharmacies also which have homeopathic medicines.
Okay.
But why you shouldn't take medicines without doctor's consent is that there are different potencies.
Yeah.
Like I have heard one auntie coming to me who said, नहीं मेरी friend ने तो मुझे चंडीगढ़ में कहा तू रूस्टॉक्स ले ले तेरे घुटने
pain.
अपने आप ठीक हो जाएंगे. मैंने लिया लेकिन मुझे तो बहुत साइड इफेक्ट हो गई.
ओहो.
That is because that medicine with that potency is right for that
Person.
but you might be requiring something else. Secondly, what is the condition of your knee?
Exactly.
So these all things contribute. That's why I am not under the opinion that anybody should go and take over the counter medicine unless and until they consult a homeopath.
But in case of emergency, doctor, do you prefer?
In case of emergency, yes. If you're abroad, if you don't have a certain medicine, or if you're traveling in Pan India also, and if you have a good pharmacy and you are in crisis, I always help my patient.
Okay.
Help is always given to those who come to Dr. Meghna.
So, Dr. Meghna, what happens if a child accidentally overdose himself with his medicine or maybe someone else's medicines which is lying around the house?
This is a once in a week agony that Dr. Meghna Rawal Thali has to face.
Really, doctor?
Because they anyways call me sweet pill auntie.
Yeah.
So they eventually land up having it.
Exactly.
So see, homeopathy.
It's fascinating to see that.
So
pills.
sometimes it is unnerving because the parents are quite tensed about it.
Exactly.
If you are taking a medicine, it has an antidote. It has a follow well.
Okay.
It also has a complementary medicine.
Absolutely.
So if the patient is here and if the child has taken the whole bottle,
Yeah.
we have the antidote to that medicine.
Okay.
So we ask
You
the
can
person to come
manage
and
it.
take the antidote and the child is given and
He's
there is no aggravation happening.
Exactly.
There are no side effects but no aggravation happening. But if the person or the child is abroad, we ask them to have 1 cup of coffee because we take coffee as a strong antidote.
Okay.
So that's how
it takes
you are in
care
safe
of the
boat.
it takes care of the situation.
Yeah, it does take care of a. This is called a crisis in some houses.
Yeah.
Where they have taken together 4-5 pills
Oh my god.
bottle at one go. So I said, don't worry, we can take care of it.
I
this.
know that could be a panic moment for the parents, I must say.
And the doctor also.
Exactly.
So far, so good.
Some people say that homeopathy medicines have steroids. What would you like to say on this, doctor?
So honesty is a very integral part of somebody's conscience. People who come to me, they have a easy access to know whether the medicine has steroid or not because I have written the name of the test, Lieberman-Bouchard test.
Okay.
I would not like to comment what others are doing, but any medicine should be tested in today's time because you're putting inside your system or you're giving it to your children.
Yes.
Also, certain plants have their natural steroids.
Yeah.
For example, the group of plants which belong to a family of plants called Veratrum.
Okay.
They have plant-based steroids, which nowadays a lot of gym people say that this is vegan or veg steroid. So these are basically plant-based steroids. So these also can sometimes give you a false positive result. But Lieberman-Bouchard test can give you a very clear picture about your medicine having steroids or not.
So even if it has a plant-based steroid, it is going to show?
I think the titer will be very lesser than a full-fledged steroid in a medicine.
Okay. So Dr. Meghna, this is my last question to you. What are you doing so differently which you were not doing earlier days of your practice?
So I went back to something called the Vedas. I studied them a bit. I realized what was happening when there was no something like this structural medicines.
Okay.
How people were getting all
Living.
right.
Okay.
So there was something called energy healing. There was something called chakras. So I have done certain courses in energy healing.
Okay.
I have learned how to conduct chakra healing or chakra cleansing sessions, and that I apply in my day-to-day practice where I am conglomerating the esoteric practices with my medical practice. So
Okay.
basically something called medical astrology or medical energy healing,
Okay.
where I am applying energy healing techniques
Together with
together
homeopathy.
with medicines.
The approach which you have taken of late is it's really good, because I think the people have that mindset that okay, I'm not even healing by the pills but also from my soul. So that's a different way of looking.
True. And I would like to conclude by saying that from nature we comes and to nature we go.
Yeah.
The intermediate journey which we have as life
Yes.
should also be taken
Very
care
natural.
by nature.
So, Dr. Meghna, please correct me if I'm wrong, that homeopathy is a fascinating system of medicine that works on the principle of like cures like, and I believe it also works on individualized treatment and which respects the body's overall natural rhythm.
Absolutely, and it also brings in total eradication of disease structure
Yeah, from
and
the root cause.
from the root cause and total healing of the animal body. We are all animals,
exactly.
so animal body. It brings back the animus.
Yes.
So it's a very, very beautiful system of medicine which so efficiently plays with the vibration, the frequency of human mind, body, and soul.
Thank you, Dr. Meghna, for being part of our show and giving us such a valuable insight on homeopathy.
I would like to thank Imperia Connect, all the people associated with it who got such an important topic on their platform, being informative to people all over the world. I hope more and more people watch this podcast and be educated, and it helps them to understand what homeopathy is all about and the concept and how a homeopath works. So, thank you once again.
It was my pleasure, Dr. Meghna, listening to you and having such a valuable information on homeopathy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for tuning into today's podcast on homeopathy. We trust that our discussion with Dr. Meghna Rawal Thali has provided valuable insights to empower you to make informed decisions regarding your health and well-being. Remember, embracing holistic approaches like homeopathy can contribute significantly to our overall wellness journey. If you think you need an expert, you can reach out to our guest using the details provided in description box, and stay tuned for more insightful conversation on Imperia Connect, where we bridge the gap to better family well-being. Thank you and stay safe.